Yes, guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Dose podcast. Today, we have yet another very special guest on the show. This guy he's one of my personal favourites. He's one of the best writers in the UK, and it's an absolute pleasure to have him on. Frankie Phraser, what's going on, man?
Hey, that was a really nice intro. I might just save that and keep it for myself more than the rest of the interview. I enjoyed that. Thank you. I'm not too bad. Thanks a lot for having me.
No
Appreciate
worries,
it.
man. Thank you for taking the time to come on. And before we get into like the standard questions, man, like one of the most surprising things for me so far is like I've spoken to quite a lot of battlers from like all over the world now, and
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of the lists come up and names come up. Like, yo, you're putting in a lot of work, man. That's dope.
yeah, it's been good fun, man. And like whenever I've kind of I've got a question which we'll get to with yourself later, which is like 5 matchups that you'd love to have for yourself in the near future.
Oh,
And
okay, cool.
the
I'll try and
amount
think of some.
yeah, it's difficult to be fair, but the amount of names from overseas that have mentioned you in their top 5 has been,
Oh, swear. No way. That's mad.
I think you've come up more than anybody else, man. Like,
Jeez. Yeah, all right. This is a good start. I'm enjoying all this. It sounds fun.
yeah,
My
yeah,
ego is boosted right now.
yeah, man. It's been interesting to hear because, like, in my opinion, you're still slightly slept on, even UK wise. So to hear,
Yeah, I got my own. I'm pretty fucking. I don't know. Like, you're either gonna look for my stuff or you're not at this point. Not as in, I can't like find new people to enjoy it, but like I've been around long enough that like you kind of know what you're getting with me. So you're either gonna look for my stuff or you're not, and that's about it. And I don't battle super often either, so like yeah,
definitely,
fucking
man.
hell. I'm a big fan of the idea of battling like international battlers. I think it's mainly because I've put so much time into meeting everyone and coming up in this like UK side of things that it's not that I don't like. I battle shops, I battle people I know, but it's like I don't automatically get that buzz that I used to get before I knew everyone, where I'm like, oh man, like I'd love to battle that guy. Whereas I still get that with a lot of international names, not because they are international, just I don't know them. I'm like, oh, that guy's dope, and I don't know him. That'd be cool to do, kind of thing. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, personally, I wasn't overly aware of Vega before you battled Vega, but I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
that you were like really keen to battle him and that you were like a big fan of his and stuff. So
Yeah, he's fucking dope, and as he proved, and then he came over again and cooked over here again with dialects and stuff. Vega's very fucking good, man. Like, trust me.
incredible, yeah.
I can't remember how it happened, but we I think Shuffle or someone said that he should battle me like years ago, and then I checked out a couple of things. I was like, yeah, he sounded good, but I didn't jump straight into his stuff and like see it all. And then the Chiller battle happened, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, this guy's crazy. And then I was working in Heathrow around like not long before we said it was gonna happen, and I said I might be going to Australia to battle. I had no actual plans to, but someone from there was like, "Yo, would you ever be able to come out and stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I just remember posting, "Yo, someone from Australia wants me to come over," and he just wanted to know who and if it was a good league and whether it was like trustworthy people because he was looking out for people coming over to Australia. And I was like, "Oh, that's dope, man. Thanks for that." And I was at the time as well. I knew Danny was starting Code Red. I don't think we'd started Chalked Out at the time or anything. So it was like, oh, I've definitely put a word in that you should come out here. And then when it ended up that he was going to come out here, I was like, yeah, I'll do that. Like, he's sick. So, yeah, it kind of worked out quite easily for us. But we never sort of intentionally, like, set out to battle each other in the first place. It kind of all happened organically, which is even better.
Nice. Yeah, man. And it was, yeah, amazing battle. I think it's one of the best battles that you guys put on with Chalked Out, in my opinion. Like, I love that battle a lot. But
Oh, thank you. I'm so annoyed about one moment in that battle. Is my most annoyed part, but it also creates probably the best part of the battle from my side of things. Because I stumble over the word And everyone thought I was choking. I get annoyed at myself, and I'm like, yo, people are gonna think I'm choking, but I just got tongue tied, and I couldn't say the sentence. It was like really weird, like a tongue twister. I was trying to say it, and I always got through it clean, but for some reason, when I was trying to say it on stage, I was like, shit, I can't say this fucking sentence. And when I went to say it, I just went, bollocks, I'm just going to go on to the next line. And when I go on to the next line, I'm so angry, I kind of deliver it way more angrier than I ever would. And then everyone sort of thought I was like proper going off. And I was like, shit, I kind of got a good moment out of it, but it came from a bad one. So, weird.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't notice that on the footage anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much. But
That's cool.
But like for yourself anyway, man, like how was it that you got into battle rap from the beginning personally? Because you've been around for a while now.
Yeah, man. So basically, I want to say my brain says like around 2006 times. Like not as in like I actually proper knew battling them, but like around them times and a bit after. My brother would show me stuff. I got an older brother who's about like 6, 7 years older than me, and I remember it might have been when I was about it felt about 14 or something, because I wasn't finished school yet, and I finished school when I was 15, so it must have been about 14, 15. And he showed me this like Saurus. He showed me the Saurus and Ilmac doing like WRCs, but I'd already heard of Lux. Like I'd seen, we were a big fan of Lux from the jump, with like the whole Miles battle and stuff back in the day. But a lot of this I didn't see. I heard it, like it was all audio. I don't know why it was, but we ended up having them as like MP3s on like an iPod and shit. And I was like super invested in just like this. It's weird, like because now I'll watch battles back, especially ones I like. But back then I would happily just listen to the same 7-minute battle, like because I was so young and so excited about it. Like Homie Hom and Piff James and shit. I'd be like, yo, I know what he's about to say, and it's freestyle, and I'm gonna listen to it 10 more times or something. And then one day, I don't know, I must have been about 17, and I came back to the house, and he was like, yo, check this. These guys are from like England and shit. Like we'd heard of Possessed, but this was when he first showed me like Don't Flop, and it was like Psychosis, Holocaust, and I think someone else. And I was like, yo, this guy's fucking insane. Like, what are they on about? Like, this is all a bit of me. Because they were doing punches. Like, we find out how quickly how creative, like, battle rap becomes when it's not on a song. Because you don't, obviously there's creativity in songs. But I'm saying, like, the ability to sort of say a punchline you'd never really get away with on a song or something. And I was super, like, hooked. And then just from then, I remember saying I wanted to go to a show. And it was, like, Blood in the Water 5 was coming up, and we saw Stigger the Dump's name on the flyer, but it was like he wasn't battling. I think he was just gonna be there or something. But I remember him being on the flyer, and we were super excited. We was gonna go, and we just never went. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I was off it for a bit, and I was writing, and I lived away in like my cousins, and it was like basically no adults and just like a load of 17, 18-year-olds. We was all fucking idiots. I don't know what we was doing. But I remember being like, yo, I can write these sort of bars. And I sat and I wrote like a load of what I would consider punchlines then, but if I think about it now, probably only like a couple lines were actually punchlines, like the way I would write them now. And I remember thinking, all right, this is cool. And then I was on I think I'd gone to Don't Flop by then. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to apply. And then I started going to shows just like randomly on my own. I went to the first one with a couple of people I knew that had no clue about it. And that was, what's the name of the event? It was Impact and Bamalam, Enigma and C Major, and some other people. Not Set the Standard. Yeah, no, it might have been Set the Standard 1 or something like that.
I think it could be actually, yeah.
I think there was like 1A and 1B or some dumb shit like that. I might have been at like 1A or something, I don't know. But either way, it was then. And I sort of had the idea that I wanted to battle, but I don't think I'd actually like properly like applied myself to wanting to do it. But I knew I wanted to go and be around it. And I went with my cousin, his girlfriend at the time, and she brought like 2 other girls, and they all dipped out before the end. And by the end I was on my own. And I was with like Villain and Bleak. I remember we was all like, yo, have you ever been to this before? And none of us had been. It was like all our first show. I was like, this shit's kind of cool. I might come back to this. And then, like, because I'd never actually been to a show. Like, it was different to watching them at home, especially like seeing people react and being able to react live in real time was quite cool. And then, yeah, after that, I went to one because they started doing events in Shepherd's Bush, which is like right near me. And I was like, oh shit, this is kind of easy to get to. And I'd go, and then I just started meeting people and getting on with people. And then like I met Cracker, and Cracker was like started to battle. I think he'd battled like once or twice before. And I remember being like, oh, I'll come to like the next one with you because you killed it. And then we just sort of went about and ended up going like all over the place with Don't Flop in 2012. So like that whole year, that's like the golden, what they call it, like 2012 Killer Croft or some shit. I always thought it was kind of sick because like even though I hadn't battled yet, I always felt like a little bit a part of that, like part of the scene because I remember being at like every show, like in Newcastle and in fucking wherever. It was a good year for just like being a fan of this. Like there were so many cool moments and battles and shit at that time. And then yeah, then I finally got given a battle. I don't know how like I must have been through the email thing, but they knew me by then. Like at least knew enough of me to be like, I will give you a tryout. And yeah, then sorry, I've been waffling for time. I got my first tryout. So yeah, that was about 2013. So from about 2007-ish onwards to about 2013, I knew all about it, but I'd never done it before. So yeah, I hope that was enough of a history. But yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. And like with your tryout then, so was your tryout Smart Alex, is that right?
No, my tryout was Verity, which is she battled on there was a league in I think it's called Barmageddon or something in like Birmingham.
Yeah, okay.
She did a couple battles, and we both battled on day 2 of Checkpoint 1, and it was like still to this day I always like I'll never forget that day, and I kind of wanted, but like we turned up and it was Ramilly Street, so it's down that there's been a lot of battles filmed there. I don't know if you ever saw Mo's Prob and DNA on demo battles.
Yeah.
Back in the day. That was that event. That was that day. I had my tryout.
Okay.
And yeah, it was like there was not a lot of people there. It was like just the street battle kind of thing. And it was my brother and my cousin, a couple of their girlfriends or whatever, and then it was just me and Verity and like and I think Shuffle came with me because like I was cool with Shuffle by then, and he turned up for it. And then and just like DNA conceded and Charlie Clips were up top. And I was like, oh no, what have I done? I can't do this. Like that, even then they were the biggest names in the world, let alone now with like how big Conceited and Clips and DNA became after that. They were already the biggest names in the world. And I was like, shit, this is crazy. How's this going to be my tryout? But I was a little bit more egotistical than I thought I was then. I was like 19 or 18 or something. And I remember being excited. I was like, yo, you guys going to judge my battle, yeah? And Conceited was like, yeah, we'll judge it. And I was like, cool. And obviously, I was bad, but she was worse. Like she had like 3 minutes of chokes in each round. I'm pretty sure it's why they created the 2-round tryout like not long after that, because we had 3 rounds and she was just standing there for a long time, and it did not even make demo battles. It was really bad, and it was so bad that Conceited kind of laughed through it at her for choking, and when they went to do the judge's decision, Clips was like, yeah, me and DNA are judging, Conceited isn't, so you got to get someone else, because he laughed. And they got Eek to do it, and I always thought that was hilarious. It was just like going to be the 3 biggest things in the world, and then Eek popped up and judged it. And I guess I won, but I don't know if anyone won that day, to be fair, because it never came out. So then I was kind of like, not so much like it was a bad thing, but I think that and Don't Flop was sort of like, yeah, right, this guy kind of has a lot of friends that are in the scene, and he's a good writer or whatever, but he's not a good battler, so we're not gonna book him at any time soon. Which, looking back, made total fucking sense. And I remember being like, oh, I kind of want to do that again just to prove that I can do better. And then Furts became like the guy running training days, whatever it was at the time, and it'd been like a year, just under a year. And he was like, yo, I'm bringing you out. Like, I'm finally going to get you to properly do this. And then that's when I battled that EMC guy. That was my tryout properly that came out and everything. It was on Don't Flop Extra before the channel died and everything. And that was my first real tryout, and that was a good day.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, because there's obviously a few battles have unfortunately been lost with the extra channel going and stuff. So I know EMC's no longer online and Smart Alex isn't either, I don't think. But
yeah, I'm more annoyed about the EMC one just because it was kind of like a good start to show people where I started from. The Smart Alex battle was cool, but like that was, even to this day, I remember thinking that was kind of easy. I didn't take that nowhere near as seriously as I should, and I still feel like I was quite good in it and comfortable. Not good as in like performance and like or anything was crazy, but I remember thinking like that I kind of wrote that really quickly and learned that really. I think it was like a week, if that we had notice for it, and I wrote it like the day I got told, and then just learned it for the rest of the week until I got there, and I kind of took that way too comfortably. And I'm not happy that it's gone or anything. I'd still like to have it up there, but it's one of the ones that I'm not as mad at being gone. Like if there was another battle that would have gone, I would have probably been more annoyed about it, if that makes sense.
yeah, of course, man, I can appreciate that. But I mean, after that point, so I'm guessing the Gemini battle was meant to be like a training days battle, but it was just good enough to make the main channel. Then is that right?
Oh, so yeah, that was after EMC. That was my second proper battle, and it wasn't long after. I think it was like a month or so, maybe 2 months. And I knew him from around the way, and I'd met him at shows, and I remember being like mad excited to watch him battle. And then they was like, "Yo, we want you two because you two had like the best tryouts of like the last like crop of people, whatever. We want you two to go against each other next." And I remember thinking, "Yo, I'm so not ready for Gem. He's such a fucking more polished like guy than me." And I knew it then, like I knew how good he was, and I was like, "This is gonna be mad." I remember writing for it and being like, because I couldn't say no. I've always had this thing like if I'd say no until it was an actual like not offer like money or anything, but like until it was an actual like presented offer for an event. Like someone sort of threw the idea out, like what would you think about it? Sometimes I'd be like, yeah, maybe not. But if they was like you versus him this day, that time, most of the time, especially back then, I was like, yeah, all right, cool, I'll do it. Even if I thought it was gonna be tough or whatever, I'd just be like, yeah. And I knew it was gonna be fucking hard work because back then I had a bit of a thing for like looking at people's music because people did a lot more music back then that were trying out, and I was like listening to every song he had out and being like, yo, this guy's fucking sick. Like, what am I gonna say about this? So I remember trying to find anything, and I remember his style was like he was super fast, he didn't slow down, and he had no pacing yet. And I remember thinking, I'm just gonna rip fuck out of him being fast. And then I got there and he had so much timing and pacing. I was pissed. I was like, he's already done me, kind of thing. It was not the best showing. And I think the reason it came out on main channel was because although I did fuck up in that battle, that was, for them, that was still like a good event battle. Like it kind of came out right at the time. And it was talked about, like people wanted to see it. So I don't think they wanted to hide like that it was coming out because I was shit. He deserved to get, it was mainly for him to get his recognition because his first battle, I don't think that came out on main channel because it was a tryout, and I don't think tryouts came out on main channel yet. I'm pretty sure that was the case anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. And I mean, you two were two of the strongest newcomers that year anyway, so it made sense to kind of get some shine on the pair of you, really, I guess. But yeah, amazing battle, man. And like on both sides as well. I really enjoyed it anyway. But like in terms of yourself, Phil, I mean, you've probably done, I mean, between 15 and 20 battles in total now. But what
Yeah,
would you
about that.
say is your favourite performance that you've been a part of personally?
Last bit cut out, mate.
Ah, sorry, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was just that like last part. You said what was your favorite performance, and then kind of stumbled off, but I couldn't hear what you said at the end, so I didn't want to answer the
So
wrong thing.
yeah, what's like your favourite battle that you've been a part of personally?
Oh, always the Bender battle. Nothing's gonna ever top that for me.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
can see that, to be fair, and like obviously
I still
absolutely
don't kind of
tragic
believe
loss.
it. Yeah, always, man. He was the greatest, and we'll miss him forever. Honestly, he was the best ever to me. Like, it will never change. I still like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
He's the man.
I'm with you, man. Like for me, both Bender and Pesci are like
Yeah,
two of
Pesci
my.
was the guy, man.
They're both just
Love Pesci.
to me. They kind of revolutionised battle rap and like especially the pen side of things, if that makes sense. Like I'm
Yeah,
a giant fan.
I remember liking Pesci when I first like got into like King of the Dot and stuff, and I think he was good. I remember jumping on to like the Bender side of things and being like, yo, this guy. I think it was just not so much easier to hear, but like I heard what he was saying clearer than what Pesci was saying at the time, even though I knew he was good. And then I remember like going back to it like a year or so later and watching some of his battles back. Cause I always liked him, because he had so many like not negative moments for hit, like as in like I thought they were, but like a lot of people hyped up negative moments, like the choke against Real Deal and stuff. I remember a lot of people, he already had like this stigma to him. So I remember being like, let me just go back and listen to some of this stuff again and being like, yo, this guy's the man. And then when I first met Soul and stuff at events when I was younger, I remember him saying he was a fan of Pesci. And I remember watching some more of his stuff back. And yeah, Pesci was fucking incredible. Like, he's such a good writer, man. So good. And he makes really good music too. If anyone wants to go check that, they should go check his music out.
Definitely, yeah, I agree. It's one of the I think it's like OG Hindu Kush or something like that. One
Yeah,
of those
that was like
albums
his
is,
group, right? I think
I
that
think
was
so.
something like that.
But yeah,
Yeah, very
that's
very very
amazing.
dope. I remember when he battled Soul, and that shit was so cool to me. Like, even when he battled Matter, because that was pretty cool as well. But that kind of got a little bit weird because it was just one of the battles where it was like not hostility between them, but it was just, sometimes there's like a vibe to a battle and it don't always. It kind of soured it a little bit. I think he had like a bit of a thing with one of the fans in the crowd, and it kind of just didn't pop off the way it should have. But I remember the Soul battle, and I was there just like watching them both in awe. Like, these guys are insane. I don't know how they write this shit. So good. I'm a
Yeah,
big fan of Pesci in that. Yeah.
yeah, agreed, man,
But
definitely.
yeah,
But
back to your original point. Bender's my favorite performance, and I don't think I can ever. I don't think I'll ever have a personal favorite performance. But like, I might rap better. I might say things better. I might be able to move around the stage better at some point, one time. But everything together as one, nothing will touch that for me.
agreed, yeah, man, and yeah, it's definitely my favourite battle of yours as well. To be fair, so I agree on that
Thank you.
front, and it's just cool that you got to battle him because obviously I know that you're a huge fan of his and always were. So
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, it must have been an amazing experience to get up there and especially in
Yeah,
front of a fiddlers crowd as well. Like it didn't do too many like small room battles really, so it was
yeah. I
good
think he
to
just
see
had
him in
like
that
the
environment.
bunker, and maybe a couple of the earlier battles he did. Maybe they were a bit smaller crowds, but the bunker was probably one of the only small crowds that I can remember him being in front of. A couple of them ones where he's in bars look quite small, but they still look bigger than Fiddlers. Like, they still
Yeah,
look about 200 plus, whereas I think Fiddlers is like just under 200 ish or something. I can't remember now.
yeah, man. Yeah, it was just great to see, and like for me, I'd I'd never really had the opportunity to see him before because like I've been a battle rap fan since Don't Flop kind of first started. So the first battle I ever saw was Osh versus Lego.
That's
Um,
such a good battle, man. The glove or whatever. He's like, why have you picked up a random glove? That one.
that one, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. That shit ruled. Lego was my guy. Obviously
yeah,
Osh, but I always liked Lego.
yeah. It was a great battle for like, but a great way to get started in battle rap anyway. But like,
Defo.
I think I was like 13, 14 at the time. And then
Oh yeah.
as soon as I left school, I moved abroad for like 6 years. So the only event that I ever actually went to
Oh yeah. Where
was
did you go to?
I was in Sweden for about two and a bit years.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
then I went to Germany for a bit, like 2.5 years or so, and like went a couple of other places for like really brief stints in between. Like I tried to live in Amsterdam for a bit, but it was too expensive.
That's pretty cool though, man. You got to fucking see a lot of the world. That's dope. But yeah, anyway, I'll let you go back to what you're saying. My bad.
No worries, man. Yeah, it was sick. But I like the only event that I made it to in the UK for like the first sort of 8 years or so of being a fan was Don't Flop's 4th birthday.
Yeah, I missed that. I'm still gutted to this day I didn't go. I knew it was happening. I was meant to go and everything. I just didn't end up going. That was a big regret of mine.
Yeah, it was amazing, to be fair. Like I flew back for the weekend and stuff, so it was a bit hectic, but definitely worth it. Like it was incredible.
Yeah, that event was crazy, man. So much historic shit happened at that event, man.
Definitely. But yeah, like I always, Bender was one of the people that I always wanted to see, and Pesci too, and I've still not seen Pesci, unfortunately.
Nah,
But yeah,
I think he'll be doing some more. I might be wrong, but I have a feeling he'll do some more. I just got a feeling he'll be on, like when everything sort of gets back. I think King the Dot want him back and to do a couple more. I'd love to see him do a couple more, not even loads, like just one or two, just like a blackout and a world done or something. Just that'd be dope. I mean, if he wants to do it forever, great. But if he doesn't want to, then I'd love to see him still just do that one or two more as a fan.
agreed. And he has actually agreed to come on the show next week as well. So,
oh man, sick. Yeah, that's
gonna try
He's
and
a great guy.
Yeah, I'll see what I can get out of him. I want to see him back, especially over here as well. But yeah, getting to see you versus Bender was pretty incredible for me. Like one of the people that I'd always wanted to see. So,
man, I'm glad I was a part of something that you could enjoy like that, man. Honestly, it's one of them. I don't really know what happened, but like, because it's still all, like, even I remember every part of it so vividly. I always think back to it. I'm like, yo, that shit really happened. Like sometimes I think about it, I'm like, that really did happen, and it's quite surreal a lot of the time. I guess nostalgia does stuff like that. You look back at it and you're like, that really happened. But yeah, whenever someone tells me that if they enjoyed anything I've done, that's great. But I'm especially proud of that one. So I'm glad I was able to give you a moment that you enjoyed.
definitely, man. Yeah, you definitely did. And like apart from that though, like, do you have a least favorite battle that you've been a part of at all?
I don't know. I guess like the ones that I've messed up in essence, like I always like I'm beat myself up about. But whenever I look back at them, I'm not really that bothered. Like I think that one of the most annoying ones was the Rivers one because of how well I knew it and how weird it was that I messed up. And it was definitely just something that happened. Like it must have just been a moment or something got to me. I don't know. I remember being so annoyed, mainly for Rivers too, because he was really fucking good, as he always is. And I was like, shit, man, we could have given him a proper one there. And I kind of let the side down on that one. Like, I regret that. But there's a lot of battles I was in, like, around that were kind of like, just felt sour and toxic, but wasn't my battle. So it's like, I don't know. My actual battles, I don't know. I can't really think of one that I specifically hate. Like, they were shit. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's a couple that were like, yo, I was not that good, but I don't hate them. They just kind of, they were what they were. Like, I'm annoyed that I choked in Gem Battle, or I'm annoyed that I choked in whatever the fucking other one was. But yeah, overall, I still enjoyed a lot of them. I think there was just, I don't know, like, especially a lot of my battles, like, I've either got a long time to write for them or I've got no time to write for them. Like, Shocks was short notice, and then, like, Rivers was forever. Like, I don't really get how it works. So I've never really sort of had that middle ground where I've got, like, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, like everyone else. I've either got loads of time or I've got no time.
Right.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of some of my other battles that stand out that I hate. I don't know.
I mean, for me personally, I can't think of any like bad battles off the top of my head, to be honest. So it's a difficult one.
It's not even that. I'm sure they were shit. You know, like, I'm sure they weren't like fucking love. Like some people are gonna go back and be like, that was the best battle that ever happened. But like whether I like regret it or like it was bad, or if I just finished it and then had a drink after and was fine. that's kind of it. Like, I don't really have any that were like, oh man, that was brutal. Like, I kind of regret having that weird little shoving match with Z, but like even then, that was so harmless looking back that even that doesn't really matter. So yeah,
No,
that's
that's
about
it,
it,
man.
bro.
Definitely. But like this next one is, to be fair, it's a difficult one because I know you've been to a ton of events. But what for you is like the standout best battle that you've seen live?
Oof, fucking hell. I should have been prepared for something like this. Best battle I've seen live. Early on, it was like when I first started going, it was things like Yunnan and Archaic, like, and stuff. And I remember that being pretty fucking crazy at the time, and for a small room, and both sides being on point and shit. Like, and then when it came to like bigger rooms, a lot of the bigger room matches became about like who got murdered. Like, maybe not like a body on some like, because bodies are a lot more rare than people like make out to be. Like, even with Soul and Raptor was still pretty fucking good. What you said, it just didn't really matter that day, if that makes sense. Whereas there's some people that just like completely got obliterated. Like, I think Soul's performance in that was one of the best things I've ever seen live. The Raptor battle, like, that was crazy. But back and forth, shit, man. Like, some of them I'm proud of for different reasons as well. Like Shuffle and Marlowe. Like, the day they won, like, not won, but like the day they did the April Fool's event and they did the Bad Bars and the 2-on-2 back to back, like, I've never been prouder of people in my life, bro. I was there with them, like, in the kitchen and on the bus at like 2 a.m. the night before, being like, how the fuck is this gonna happen? And then seeing them make it happen and just knowing the second that it finished, being like, yo, they've done something here. Like, I don't know how or what, but this is about to blow up. And then it did, and it was like, shit, that's so good. But man, there's a lot of cool battles I've seen live, man. Shit, I've been around for a long time when I think about it. I'm always pissed I didn't see C and Soul live. That's one. I think I would have probably said that if I was there, because I love that battle. I love that battle. Shit, man. Some Tony night, like Tony's performance against Yunnan was amazing. Again, another one where like Yunnan was really fucking good in the battle, but it kind of didn't matter that day. Like, Tony was great.
I definitely agree with you. Like Yunnan versus Tony and Raptor versus Soul. Like, people are way too quick to kind of label things as a body in that sense, you can't. When they've turned up with 3 solid rounds, they've just unfortunately come up against like a
day, man.
freak.
Some things are just not their day.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
What Tony did, Serious Jones, is a fucking murder. Like, that's not like there's nothing else that happened in that event. Like, Tony murdered that brother. Like, it was clean 3-zip. Not one bar was like one. You just lost so badly that you kind of went home with your tail between your legs, kind of thing. Like, whereas the Raptor one and Soul, or like Yunnan and Tone, again, like, I think they lost really cleanly, and like probably in with some of the best bars that people have said in events over the years. But I never sort of was like, oh, that was like so bad from them. You know, like, I never came away from their side of the material and been like, yo, they were shit. They weren't shit. You know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't their day, and that can happen.
Yeah,
it can happen to anyone.
And they just happen to come up against a freak of nature performance in that sense.
Bro,
But
like, sometimes it's just not your day, bro. Like, I've always felt like, I remember when I battled Dialect, like, I knew I did well. I knew I had a good, like, I had a better performance than it looked in the moment, because I had like a fuck up or whatever. But I remember he did one, I think it was his first round or it was second. It might have been his second round. And I was like, yeah, this is his day, man. He's just on. Like, and it never felt like I was getting murked or anything. I just remember thinking, he's on job today. This is really good. I kind of enjoyed it. Weird. I don't know. But yeah, it's hard to pick just one battle I've seen live, because then I've got to start thinking of some of the internationals I've seen over here and I forget. And then there's a lot of events that I was there in the room and probably steaming or probably got caught outside during it. Like, sometimes I've missed the battle that I wanted to see live because I've got caught outside talking to someone like an idiot. So yeah, it's hard to just pinpoint one, but some of the ones that stood out to me, like a lot of Tony and Soul's performances, Shuffle and Marlowe's performances, O'Shea against like Harry Baker. I remember that was great that day. I think he was amazing in that. So
Yeah.
many, like, and then all different styles of things. Like Shox' second round against Sensor. Like, there's nothing crazier than that. Like, you could put that round up against anyone's round, like, that I've ever heard in England, and I'll be like, yo, that might have been the best round I've ever heard from someone. So good. Like, there's so many moments in that. Soul and Shox was great. I guess you got to go with the biggest names and biggest battles, but I've seen some smaller battles. I remember, like, things like Dank and JB was a cool fucking battle live, and yeah, I'm riffing, but yeah, there's been a lot, man. I've seen a lot.
Definitely, man. And do you know what? On the subject of Empire, so the Shocks Sensor event, that's something I meant to bring up earlier. Like that event seemed to get a little bit of stick online afterwards. And do you know what? I think that event makes my top 3 events that I've ever been to. Like that was
That's very cool, man. Very cool. I'm glad to hear that. One thing I'd say, with most events, a lot of online stuff was never really the case in person. Like when I've been to some events that, like, I remember being in an event once and someone said someone lost 3-0, and I was like, "Are you here?" And they were like, "No." And I was like, "What the fuck are you on about then?" Like, it just happened. I was right there. Like, what? So there's sometimes, like, it's hard to go off of just like a reaction like that, and a lot of that stuff happened before. I don't think anyone who watched them battles, like, back to back to back, thought that was a shit event, if that makes sense. I think all the battles were fucking cold. It was a really good event, but because it wasn't mammoth or whatever, and it was very sour at that point. Like, everyone was kind of annoyed at everyone. It was all kind of a tough time in the scene, and I don't even blame anyone, but I think it just happened at a time where if everyone was having fun, like it was like 2014 or something, I think that would have been a great event and people would have talked about it a lot. But because of the time and everything, and what just didn't have the best, just wasn't happening at the best time. But I think a lot of the battles were great, a lot of the moments were great, and I enjoyed. It was a tough day for me. I was busy when I was working that. Some of them events are long for me because I was there running around trying to tell bouncers not to fucking shut down times, and yeah. So,
yeah, man. I can
but I'm
imagine.
glad you enjoyed the event. I thought we put on a lot of very good battles and a lot of cool events. So I'm happy with that.
Definitely. Yeah, I completely agree, man. Like I came to quite a few of the chalked out events. So I came to it was your first ever event, right, where Tony battled Bobby and like Hulk
Yeah, that was it.
Templar.
Yeah, that was the
Um,
first ever one.
yeah, I came to that, which I thought was really good as well.
Oh, thanks, man. That was a cool. I thought that was cool for our first ever go. Like, we was only around about 2 years, if that. I thought we did all right. I thought we had some cool shows, some cool battles, a couple cool
Definitely.
concepts that hadn't been done before.
Yeah.
I don't really look back on a lot of them events, like specifically events. Anything outside of it, cool. Like how long it took for this fucking to get set up, or who pulled out of this one, or whatever the fuck it would have been. But like when I just look at the battles that happened in front of me, I thought we did quite good.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I was at Volume 1, Volume 3, and Empire.
Volume 3 is the best. Like that was one of my favorite events ever, and I was so annoyed and busy that day. Like I battled Vega. I was meant to be on first. We ended up being on like quite near the end. It was like a very stressful day, but when I look back at it, I fucking loved that event. There was so many good battles. That was a fun day.
Yeah, amazing event, man. And I was at the World Dom event, and you guys played quite a big part in organising that as well at the time. Is
Oh
that
yeah,
right?
we did work well done. Yeah. A lot of that was mainly Andy and Shox with Organic and his team. I wasn't so much a part of that one as much as them because I was mainly just sort of helping other stuff. Like if they needed me to get someone to the venue or something like that, or just even in the venue if they needed me to do anything, I was there. But they were mainly dealing with that because King of the Dot kind of put on their own show anyway. But with Andy and Shox, they definitely had their own talks and everything with Organic and King of the Dots team. I'm sure they got a lot done. But I was mainly just there as part of the team on the day. If they needed someone to host, or I was about, if they didn't need me at all, cool. I was just happy to be a part of it, which was dope. It was brilliant. It was weird. I remember just walking around that whole day being like, shit, this is well done. Like, I was like, I remember watching Well Done 2 in my room when I was young. I'm actually helping. Even if I don't remember if I did anything that day, but I'm helping Well Done. It's kind of cool.
Definitely.
Sometimes you get these. There's one thing with battling, like every now and again, there's this 17-year-old me that jumps up in my head, and I'm like, that shit was kind of sick. Like that actually happened. Whereas the grown man in me, when I look at it, I'm like, yeah, that was just a day. But every now and again, I get that voice in my head, and I'm like, shit, that was cool.
Yeah, I can appreciate that, man, definitely. And yeah, it was great to see Will Dom over here. Like the, I think that for me personally, the crowd were just a bit odd on that day. Like it wasn't anywhere near what I was expecting it to be, unfortunately. But I mean, there
Hey, that's
was,
fair, mate. It's your own experience of the show. That's fine. And no dramas. I remember thinking it was pretty cool, but I was probably just in awe for myself more than anything else.
yeah, and there was some amazing battles there. Like not Chiller, sorry, Sharon A Ward was
Yeah, that
fucking
was wild,
incredible.
innit? Yeah, that was definitely battle of the day overall. I remember that. I think I was with Ilmac on the side. Is it Ilmac? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Ilmac. Or someone was just we were just off to the side, but like next to the stage, and we was like, "Yo, what the fuck are they up to?" Like it was one of them ones where like you think someone had like an amazing bar, an amazing round, or an amazing flip, and then the other one to do something crazy, and you're like, "What are they doing?" That's some high echelon of battle in there. Like, and I'm not even like I think they're both great. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not even like dying to jump at their battles like I am other people. Like, but they are insane at what they do. It's mad.
Yeah, yeah, I
Very,
agree. That
very,
was
very high quality what they come up with, like as a performance, as a whole, everything. Very, very, very high quality battlers.
yeah, yeah. I love that battle in the room, but like the for me personally, like I booked as soon as it was announced that they were doing a World Dom in London, like I booked tickets before they'd even announced any battles, just because it's one of those events where if you're a battle rap fan, you kind of have to be there for that. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah, I'm still gutted I didn't get to go to the fucking Summer Madness that happened in London.
yeah, neither did I, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
like and that and like fourth birthday and like I think maybe like Battle of the Brave. There's like a handful of events that I missed out on. That I'm like, shit, man, I should have been at that. Like I saw it all when it was happening, but I wasn't there. I should have been there.
so I was at Battle of the Brave, and it's it's definitely the weirdest event that I've ever been to.
Yeah, I remember, bro. I've heard. I remember I watched it live on the stream. Like I can't remember what they did it on now because that was so long ago. But I remember watching it on a laptop and being like, "Yo, why didn't I just go? I should have just went and tried my luck." Cause I was fully broke then. I don't think I had nothing in my pocket at that time. And I was like, "Shit, if I'd have went, probably would have got in. I probably wouldn't have." But I didn't want to. I also didn't want to burden anyone either. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'll stay indoors." And yeah, that shit was crazy. That Tony performance does not get the credit it deserves. That's one of the best Tonys there's ever been. I remember when he got the not Chiller, the Serious Jones battle. I was like, whatever the fuck you did for math, do that again. And I think he did, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was amazing, and Jem was incredible as well. To be fair
Oh
to him,
yeah, definitely. Actually, that's a good point. I don't think that gets enough love either. He wigged out. Then
on the
again, Jem
day
always
though,
wigs out.
like I think most of the people in the venue were people that I didn't recognise, which around that era wasn't that like normal for battle rap events. But I
That's good
think,
though, man. I think that's good. I think that's what was so good about it. It was way more raw and organic. Like it wasn't just the same dons. And I don't mean that to negate anyone that's been around forever because I've been around forever. I'm the same don. But it is cool when you get to tap into like other parts of like who you could bring into this. Like there's so many people out there that would love this if they fucking knew. And that was one of them events where I felt like we got Scoop and people like that from that event, which is fucking dope.
definitely, yeah, man, and in the room, it felt to me like, because if I remember rightly, like Jem and Tony's battles were like the first two battles. Well, Scoop did his, and then I think Jem went, and then I think Tony went, and then it kind of felt like everyone was just there to either see Pat and Hollow, or there seemed to be a lot of bonkers fans there as well. It was just it was a bit bizarre. Like, I don't think a lot of people seem to be sleeping on the Tony and Jem battles in the room anyway. But apart from that, it was a weird day, because like things were just getting announced like last minute, like things
on
were
the
getting
fly, right?
changed
Yeah.
to
Yeah, I
one
remember that.
rounders
Yeah.
and whatever. But
Yeah, I'm sure in the room that was kind of weird. If you paid your ticket and they're like, "Oh, by the way, this is going to be a 30-second battle now," or some shit. Yeah, that must have been a bit weird. I get that,
yeah,
but yeah,
but
that's up there. It's like it's just one of them events though that I think about. I'm like, yeah, I should have probably went to that. Should have probably went to some madness, things like that. I just missed out on. But shit happens, innit?
definitely, yeah. And I mean, I was on holiday for the Summer Madness event anyway, but tickets were like fucking 80 quid or something like that, weren't they? They were
Yeah, I think they were
mental.
like £70 or something. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I can't remember at the moment, but I think it was like 70. Yeah, something like that.
That's mad. That is mad. But yeah, I mean, World Dom for me, like I got so excited at the thought of seeing Head Ice live finally.
Yeah, I was pretty gassed about that as well because he was one of the few people I'd missed out on. Like he was meant to come over a bag of times, but it just never happened. So yeah, that was cool.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't understand the word he said the whole battle.
He didn't have the best day, but it was
Didn't.
still quite cool to see him
It
dance.
was cool to see
Yeah,
him,
like
yeah. And like I got to speak to him briefly after, which was pretty cool. He seems like a sound guy, but
yeah, he
yeah,
was lovely. I mean, I spoke to him in the little whatever the fuck that VIP area is, but I don't really like it's not really a VIP area. It's just up a couple stairs. But I remember I was in there. And I only spoke to him for a minute, but I was like, that's fucking head. There's still some battlers, like, where, because I haven't met them yet or they haven't been around, I've just never had any interaction with. Where I'm like, fuck, that's him. I ain't seen him before. That was kind of sick. So, yeah, that was all right. Whereas Chiller, I'd met so many times by then, and Chill with him so many times, I was like, come on, bro. What are you saying?
yeah.
So, yeah.
I could imagine, yeah. But yeah, no, it's some amazing events from Chalked Out, man. And like, do you miss that side of things, like being a
Nah, not at
promoter?
all, man. Not at all. I don't think I was ever really built for all that. I enjoyed the event when they happened. I enjoyed being able to like have people over, like when Vega and Dundee or like whoever came over, I got to chill with them. Like I don't know what is it, like liaising or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like I'll just go meet them at the bar, make sure they got everything. Things like that were fun. Like even going to the airport a couple of times and picking people up and that, like that was quite cool. But just as a whole, like it's a business, man, and it's very very strenuous, and it also makes me realize how fucking insanely difficult all of this is, and it's laughable sometimes. Like anyone who's never even been on that side of things, not like they just have no clue, man. Like, and I don't mean that to tell them off, like, because I didn't have a clue. I would have been like, yo, you should have got X, Y, and Z, and you should have fucking did this, and you should have did that. And then I was on the other side of things. I was like, yo, that shit that's so hard, man. It's very difficult, very difficult.
Definitely.
I don't miss that part of things, like where it's stressed, but like the events, being at the events and like and being with all the battlers and stuff, that was always fun to me. I enjoyed that, but the things Ambi had to deal with and do and shocks and stuff, like I do not envy how much they had to go through, especially like not even just getting into like money things and that, but just how much they had to deal with. Like a lot of battlers, like just having to get them involved or get people to come to do stuff or like stuff that you think they'd want to do and then they didn't, and you're like, all right, and then they'd hit you up after it was a successful show and be like, oh, I want to do that now, and you're like, wait, what? We just thought you didn't care. And now it's like you're like all those things you got to juggle. It's like spinning plates. You just got to keep everything going. I want that part of it. I don't miss at all. But the whole like just the events and that I enjoyed that. So I would definitely be like if they ever did an event or something in like a year, I was like, yo, do you want to come help meet the battlers and that? I'd do all that again. But that's about it.
Fair enough, man. Yeah, and I think it's kind of coming more obvious to fans how hard it is to put events on, especially since Apex happened and things like that. I think people are
Yeah,
starting to
yeah.
realise how difficult it is to run a
Trust me,
battle
that's
rap
why
event
I was
over here.
I remember seeing all the stuff they were saying and being like, fucking hell, lads, this is going to be so hard work. Like, I feel for you. Because I could tell, like, not as in beforehand, but like when it was around the time and like there was people, I could see them posting that people weren't getting back to them. I was like, this is going to be rough, innit? Like, and I felt for them because it's not easy, man. It's really not easy. That's why I remember being so annoyed at some of the guys that did it. Like, I think, like, there's some of the battlers, they just went away so much. I was like, now, if there's just no need for it. Like, how hard can it be to like just say you want to do something and do it? And how hard could it be to just be like, yo, I don't want to fucking do this? Like, I don't think it's that hard. Like, there's so many events that I'm like, if someone hit me up to do it, I'd just be like, no. You might think I'm a bit of an idiot for saying no, but like, if I don't want to do it, I don't. That's about it. Like, some of these guys would say, yeah, and leave leagues and companies in the lurch, and then make them look like the bad guy, and they're definitely not. For the most part, from what I've noticed, anyway.
Definitely, man. Yeah, it's mental, really, isn't it? But yeah, strange world that we live in, unfortunately. But like, getting on to the question I mentioned earlier, then. So, like, for you, is there, if you had to pick five battlers that you'd like to battle, like, it can be absolutely anyone as well, but who interests you, and who would you kind of jump at the chance to step up against?
A lot of mine are because of like it's kind of in the same realm with the Bender thing, where it's like I'm such a fan, and I was such a fan when I first got into it. That like just the idea of seeing my name and their name next to each other would be crazy. Like I'd so like I don't know if that particularly means I want to battle them. Like just to add in, like when I battled Bender, there was a lot of jokes on the forums back then where I was like, yo, me and him would be sick. But I never really, I thought it was so unreachable and so unattainable that I thought it was funny. I never actually wanted to battle him. I always just wanted to stand there and be like, yo, do you think I'm good? That was pretty much it, man. Like, so like a lot of these are going to be like, I don't know if I specifically want to stand there and call this guy a prick in rhyme form, but I do want to be like, yo, do you think I'm all right at this? Because this is the closest I can ever get to telling you some bars and shit. But like, I'd like Saurus forever. Like, I've always wanted to do that. It's the Saurus, isn't it? Like, who wouldn't want to battle the Saurus, bro? It'd be pretty silly to not want to battle them. If you do this anyway, like, Saurus always. B Magic, like, forever. Like, I love B Magic. Super fan. And then after that, I don't know who I want to jump in with. Like those two have always been people I'd love to battle. But then I don't know why. Like, it's just because I think they're so great. A lot of other people, like, I don't know. There's so many legends that I just would like. Anyone that was from the shit that I watched growing up and I was a fan of, like, even people like Pat. Like, I don't want to battle Pat Stay. Of course I don't. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do with that? Like, he's gonna murder me, make me look like a prick. But it's Pat Stay, so I'd like to say I stood there and shouted rhymes at him, and he had to listen to them rather than see him at an event and be like, "Do you like this bar?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Definitely, Saurus and Being Magic are people that I've always sort of had. That's like some of my favorites that I'd love to rap against, just to show them that I think I'm kind of good sometimes. Other than that, though, it's hard to just choose. Like, I'd love to, if someone like Homie Hom ever came back and battled, I'd be like, I beg I get to battle him, just because 17-year-old me telling me I have to do it, even though I don't have anything bad to say about him. It's really strange. And then, let me try to get some like Canadians and English people in. So I said 2 Americans, Canada. I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to battle Pigsty. He's the fucking best. I love Pigsty. I don't want to battle him. But I wouldn't mind him coming over here and chilling for a bit. So if I'm the one who has to shout, I'd shout some shit, but I'd get murdered. Same with Ellipsis. To be fair, I'd rather battle Ellipsis more, just because I feel like people want to see that. And that's kind of cool that there's actually battles that people still want to see from me. Like, there's actually names people tag me in with and be like, yo, I want to see you and him. So Ellipsis would be cool. And then from here, I don't know, who would I battle from here? Fuck knows, man. I don't even know. There's just so many great people over here, but I feel like I battle quite a few of the cool ones. Like, I don't actually want to battle Soul. I love Soul. I just want to watch him battle. I don't really want him to call me a prick, to be fair. He'll do that in an event anyway. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Soul is kind
random.
of the one that immediately jumps to mind UK wise, to be honest. I think you two would match up really well. But
yeah, I get asked about that, man. I don't know. It was meant to happen once, but he didn't know about it. And it was for a chalked out, it was gonna, at least, I'm not saying it was gonna happen, but like we were trying to get him to do the event when he ended up battling Dialects and I ended up battling Shocks. And they wanted me to do the Soul battle quite as it was, where it was going to be like a short notice thing. But then obviously with Shocks and Marlow not happening, I ended up battling Shocks. And then we finally got in contact with Soul and we ended up doing him and Dialects instead. And I think it all worked out for the best. That was probably the only time I ever really thought I'd have to sit and write some stuff for him. Whereas since then I've never really wanted to be fair. I don't think I wanted to then either, but then I was probably more excited about the idea. Whereas now I'm just like, I'd rather watch Soul battle other people. And I'm sure Soul wants to battle other people, man. Not gonna lie.
yeah, and something came up. I spoke to Briggsy a few weeks back and something came up with him. Apparently this has been like requested on the forums quite a lot. I've not really been in the forums for very long. I kind of rejoined them all just to promote the podcast, to be honest.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are suggesting you and Major Concerns, which I think that'd be really good.
Yeah, I've accepted that a few times and it never happened. So I don't know. I don't think I'm like, if you're asking me if people I want to battle in the world, I don't think he's on my list of who I want to battle.
No.
If people want to see it and it works out, that I'd do it at some point. But I've accepted it a couple of times now, and it hasn't been the right time, or it just didn't work out. So I don't know. I always kind of find when stuff like that happens, it just kind of ends up going downhill. So like with Podge, I was meant to battle Podge in Ireland, didn't work out. I was meant to battle Podge here, and then obviously the event got cancelled because Corona and stuff. So like maybe I will battle Podge one of these days, or maybe it'll never happen. I don't know. But like I'm not too sure what's happening. But it's not like someone I've requested myself, if that makes sense. I think Major's dope. He shows me infinite love, and I find that amazing. I think he's a very, very cool dude, man, and he's a lovely geezer outside of battles as well, from what I've noticed. But it's not someone that would be on my list of like who I'd want to battle. To be fair, I don't know if I want to battle many people. That's why I only really had a couple in mind, and even then, they're not really people I would like. I'm not fighting for it. I'm not putting out blogs and being like, let's make this happen. It's just kind of, if that ever were to happen, that'd be kind of cool. I could say I did it. You know what I mean? And also, I guess like I want to travel. Like if I get the chance to get flown somewhere, it's not this. I always said this. Like, I don't know if I deserve to get flown anywhere. I don't know if I need to be flown anywhere. But if I get the option, if I get asked to, I'd love to go somewhere in America and battle someone, way more than I would want to battle like anywhere else, just because I could say I did it. It's more about that for me at the minute. Like I can say I did something really cool. Whereas I can battle here anytime, even if I don't battle for like 3 years and come back or some shit and battle again. I can do all this shit anywhere. But it would be nice to say I was able to go to these places. Like when I went to Vancouver, like I can say I did that, and I can be like that. That's like a little like notch on the fucking belt or whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
Definitely, man. Yeah, and like for me personally, like I've literally just started battling now, and that's like the only goal for me, really. Like,
yeah,
getting to go to cool places and just meet new people, I guess. So
that's what I mean, mate. It's not even like it's not. I don't know if I have the. It's not desire any of that because I can rap any day. If I think about the bars I can write well. I can rap anytime. That's what I do. But if you're telling me and you're asking me what I would like to do, yeah, I'd love to be able to say, oh, I went to fucking here and I went to there. Like when I was meant to go Ireland, that would have been so cool. I was like, I could say I went to fucking Ireland and rap. Like I can literally, there's not many things I can say I've done in the world, but like I can be like, yo, one time I got put on a plane to the other side of the world and shouted for like 10 minutes and then that was it. But I think that shit's kind of cool. I wouldn't be able to do that in anything else. Like really, it's not like I've got some sort of sport background where I'm gonna go do some gymnastics or some shit like in another country. So if I'm able to do it from rap, then that's pretty crazy to me. The fact I even did it is crazy to me. So if I get to do that again, no matter where it is, that'd be dope. But I'm also not really like, I'm so far removed at the minute, just where I've been stuck in the house and everything. I've not really been trying to invest in battles. So I don't really know what I'm doing. If I end up battling again, cool. If I never battle ever again, it's not because I hate it or like or I look down on any of that dumb shit. There's a lot of battlers like, oh, I'll never battle again, and then they hate it. Like I fucking love battles. I watch them as much as I can. But if I never do, it's not because I hate it or anything. It's just because life might get in the way. But I still enjoy this, and I still enjoy it. Mainly, I'll never lose the love for the actual moment of people shouting their rhymes in each other's face. Everything else, once we take all the other things away, that's the only cool bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. No, I can see
Hearing
that.
something creative I've never heard before and being like, fuck, why didn't I think of that? Or fuck, how did he think of that? Like shit like that. That will never go away.
Definitely. No, and it's been pretty cool, man. Like I said at the start, like a lot of people that I've had on the show have mentioned you, like they would like to battle you. So like, if I
Is there any
remember
that you
rightly,
remember?
I
Because I
think
couldn't think, yeah.
Terminal said you.
Oh, mate, he's a good dude, man. I like Terminal a lot.
I'm pretty. So the first person to mention you was Jack Casserole, if you're aware of him.
Yeah, I like him. He's great. He's a very cool dude, man. Yeah, he's from my battle on that.
That's
Cult.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be amazing to see you on iBattle. Like I follow
There we
iBattle
go.
a lot, so
Going full circle, like I said at the beginning, like that would be so sick. I'd do that because I kind of know nothing about him, if that makes sense. And I find that way more intriguing. Like if I was to go to like New York and be like, yo, I went to New York and I battled someone, and I'd battle him. But you know, I find that way cooler. Like because when I first got into this, a lot of the names that I battled or whatever it was, because I didn't have a clue who they were. Or someone that I thought I was a fan of, but I'd never met, like something like that. That happened. Whereas, yeah, there's people in the scene here that I'm not against battling. It's just I don't have the same investment. I don't know why it is. I don't know what is in my head that makes me think that way. But I'd battle Jack Castle in fucking America. That'd be sick.
yeah, man. I'm pretty sure Homeschool mentioned you as well.
Hey, I like Homeschool. He's creative as hell, man. That guy, he's got something. He's very different.
Definitely, yeah, and
He's got one bar that I always say in my head, and I always think I'm saying it wrong, but I don't know if I am. But he has something like, he did a mean face plant like Little Shop of Horrors. I fucking love that bar. It's a cool bar. Yeah, he's creative. I like Homeschool.
yeah, he's sick. But I'm pretty sure he mentioned you, and then so did Pigsty, man.
Oh, fucking hell. See, why did we both mention each other? I just want to chill with Pigsty. Not going to lie. He's the best. I got to chill with him for a couple of days in that van, and he treated me like the best person ever because he's just such a dope person. And if I get to chill with him again in my life, I don't care if we've got a rap to do it. If he's got to get flown here, or I've got to get flown there, I don't care. He's a top geezer. I really, really get on with him.
Yeah, man,
So
he seems
do
safe,
that.
but
I'd do that just over here or me over there, if that makes sense.
definitely. And I'd love to see him over here, definitely. So
Yeah, he deserves to come here. I wanted to book him for one of our chalked out. I can't remember which one it was going to be, and I can't remember why it didn't end up happening. And it probably would have ended up being me, kind of like Vega, just because I mean, I was helping set up. It was someone I wanted over here, would have probably ended up being me, but it wasn't because I was picking my battles or anything. It would just been easier to be like, well, I'll do it because it's our league kind of thing. Them one like save us working some deal out with someone. I could have just done it, but just never end up happening. But he deserves to come here. He deserves to be put on a performance for fans over here, and maybe even if he gets to go to Ireland or somewhere like that as well, that'd be dope for him.
Definitely.
Or anywhere, just more pigsty battles, man. I literally am a huge pigsty fan, regardless of just how cool he is in person. Like, me and my brother watch pigsty battles regularly. Like, I had to put shuffle onto him, and we was like sat there in my house, like, yo, you gotta fucking watch this guy. He's the best. So, big fan of pigsty.
Yeah, me too, man. Massive fan. But like, how was Vancouver then? Like, it looks like an amazing city.
Yeah, I had the best time. I mean, maybe I've got not much to put it up against because I've not been to many places, but I fucking love every second of it, man. It was incredible to say that I did that, and to the people, everyone I met was mad cool. I don't think I had like one weird moment or anything. Everyone was just super blessed. They're cool people. They're fun nights. Like, just, yeah, I loved every second of it. I'd go back in a heartbeat.
Nice. Yeah, man, it looked amazing. And like,
and the event was great. Like, getting to meet people like A-Class. Like, A-Class is fucking dope. Like, people like Isaac Knox and like Gingerbread Man. People I'd never meet or wouldn't have thought I'd ever meet just because they don't come to England or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But yeah, they're great. Like, seeing A-Class battle and chilling with him, like he stayed with me and stuff. Like, yeah, he's a dope dude. I liked him a lot.
Definitely. Yeah, man. And like,
it made me have that understanding of like when battlers come over here to like events, especially events that I've worked, and they kind of build this like little bond, like even if it's just for that weekend, but they're kind of like around each other so much and they kind of start rooting for each other. That was kind of like that. It was pretty sick. I got to experience that for the first time myself.
Yeah. I had Le Sparker on the show about a week ago as well.
That's who I stayed with. He's the greatest.
Yeah.
One of the coolest human beings that like everyone needs to meet him. Yeah, love Force all day, man. He's the best.
Definitely, man. He's definitely one of the most fun people that I've ever spoken to be honest. Like, he's
trust everyone on earth would be lucky to have any interaction with that guy. He's a great fucking person, for real.
Agreed. Yeah, that must have been an experience in itself, staying with him, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely. He was just so cool to be around, man. Like, he's like super positive about everything, and that's the sort of shit that you need in life, man. So, and yeah, and even just other than that, like, he just needs love and he looked after man, stay with him. He didn't have to do any of that, so that's amazing.
Nice. Yeah, that's amazing, man. It's really cool that you got to go over there, definitely. And I'd love to see more of the UK guys over there because, like, for me...
Yeah, I think they will be at some point when everything's back to, not normal, but when everything's back to being allowed to, like, people to travel and that. I think everyone should experience that. I think more people should I think King of the Dot themselves should deal with Vancouver more, man. Like, Vancouver's great. Like, everyone has the best time. Every battle I know or I spoke to, or when I said I was going, some of the biggest names in the world messaging me like, you got to do this, you got to do that. It's the best place. So I don't know. I think they should utilize it.
Yeah, for me personally, like the leagues that I'm kind of following the most outside of the UK now are like iBattle.
Yeah, I love iBattle. Love all of them. Lex is incredible what he does. Lex knows the fucking deal.
Definitely. I follow like the
I've
Vancouver scene.
To go a few times, so I'm not gonna lie. It's one place I'd love to say that like if again, like I said earlier, if I never battle again, cool. But if there's somewhere I definitely want to say I went to, it'd be iBattle.
Yeah, I agree. It's like top of my. You know, I've only done one battle so far, and it was the video round for the academy, so it doesn't count. Mm-hmm. But I mean, right now that's bucket list material kind of thing, and Vancouver's up there as well. And then like I've become like a big fan of No Coast as well, and it's all just because all three leagues, like it doesn't, you don't get the feel of it being a battle event. It's like a party with battles happening, if that makes sense. So just They look amazing.
Just wanna throw out there as well, just because I didn't say it. Copacetic, like, is the best human being. He's the reason I was able to go to Vancouver. So much love to him. If he does pay attention to this, he deserves all the love. That guy, he's the best, and he's the reason that like anyone from over here is known as in like Vancouver and shit. That guy comes and pays attention to the smallest part of the UK and surrounding areas like Ireland and Scotland and stuff like, or whatever you want to call it, and he gives them love from early. He's a great guy. But yeah, No Coast, they're fucking cool as well, man. Like, they got people like Human and like Mr. Biscuit and all those guys, and XQZ, who I'm a mad fan of. So yeah, all great league.
Definitely, yeah. The episode I did with XQZ is actually dropping tonight, so
Sick.
look out for that. But
Defo.
Human agreed. Like I want to get him on the show. So
he was meant
badly.
to come to. I was meant to meet him in Van. He was meant to be on the same card as me, but he couldn't get there. I can't remember what happened, but it just didn't end up working out. And that was a shame.
Oh no way!
Yeah, I'd love to have met him.
That would have been sick. But yeah, copacetic too. Like I owe him a bit of a public apology, to be honest. Like, he was one of the first episodes that I recorded, and I completely fucked up the sound on it. And
oh yeah, oh okay, that's a shame.
It proper echoes for him.
Is it right if I just pause for like 1 second?
Yeah, of course, man.
I'll just be like 2 seconds, bro, and then we'll finish this off. Sorry, my bad.
No worries.
Sorry, mate. Thank you.
No worries, man. Yeah, no worries. All good. But yeah, I fucked up the audio on the copacetic episode, and it was all echoey on his end. So hopefully we're gonna re-record soon. But yeah,
that'd be cool.
Great guy.
You could tell he's a great dude, though, right? Yeah, he's proper. Mad funny guy as well.
Definitely, yeah, and he knows his stuff as well. Do you know what, man? I don't know if you know this already, but I didn't realise this at all. Like, he's done tunes with like Dr. Syntax and stuff.
Oh, say down, that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't realise, but
I just want to add in, because it's like one of them weird ones where it came back to me now, like super late, but because we've been talking about it earlier when I said I had my original tryout, I said Barmageddon, right? It's not a Birmingham league, it's fucking Wolverhampton, and people like Pete, rest in peace, Pete Cashmore, all day, like loveliest human being. We all miss you, mate. Yeah, like he was, I think he did battles there, or at least he used to be at the shows there. So I don't know why it just came back to me now, but Wolverhampton was where they did like Barmageddon and shit. I don't know when they stopped doing them or why they stopped doing them, but yeah. One of the first events I ever went to, when you were saying earlier when I got into all this, was Pete's original Battling Demon show. And I hadn't battled yet. Cracker was battling. Who did he battle that day? I can't remember exactly. I can't remember who Cracker battled that day, but he was battling that day. And that was like one of maybe my third event I'd ever been to. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in because it just slipped my mind for a second. And I wanted to also mention how cool Pete was, even back then, like when I knew no one. So yeah. Apologies.
No, 100%, man. And like, he was kind of a statement of quality as a fan that was only watching battles online at one point. Like, he had the loudest laugh in the world, and you knew something was good as soon as you heard him laughing, if that makes sense. So.
Mate, he was one of the first people I remember wanting to reference in a battle, just because I thought it would make him like laugh or something. Like, I remember I was battling Z, and he had his fucking red wine in his hand, but he had two. He had one in each hand. And I think it'd been a long day. There'd been like the football, and there'd been like loads of shit happening that day. Everyone was about, and like we didn't get to rap until like mad late at night. And it was summer, so it was hot as fuck all day. Everyone was pretty steaming early. I remember being like, "Yo, I'm on next, man. I'm on next," and he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah." And I don't know what I told him for, but he just went, "Do the thing," and I was like, "Alright." So I went and rapped. So I remember trying to find him after, and I think he finished his drink. And I was like, "Yo, did I do the thing?" And he was like, "What are you on about?" I was like, "Oh shit!" He completely didn't even know what he said to me. But yeah, he was the best, man. Proper good dude. I always thought I was like, I always remember that. Even it's just one of them like little charming moments that like anyone could have had with him themselves. Like, he was just that cool to everyone. But yeah,
Definitely, yeah, man. And was that the event where Cracker battled Toucan then?
that's it. Yeah, it was Toucan. Yeah, I was like, did Cracker battle a girl at that event? And then I remember Nose because Toucan battled twice. He battled a girl. He battled Most Prob's wife, or now wife. But I don't think his wife at the time. So that was Cracker and Toucan. Fucking hell, that was 2012, long time ago, man. Fucking hell, crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I remember that happening now. But the final battle rap related question, man, and it is the one people have found the hardest, to be honest.
Okay.
But you might be a bit better at this because obviously you've helped with events and stuff. But if you were putting together a card that you had kind of unlimited funds for, what battles do you want to see the most, and what are you booking?
Okay, let me try to do this then. How many have they got to be? Like 5?
I was saying 8, but to be fair, it's
Okay.
way too hard. So if we
8's
go
a
for
lot,
6,
man. 8's a lot for a real event. Let
yeah,
alone one with unlimited fun. Alright, yeah, this is kind of tough. Because it was kind of one time reference happened, and if they were both at their peak, I'd love to see Geechee and Shocks rap just in front of each other.
oh
They
my
probably wouldn't
God.
necessarily be dissing each other, but they'd be talking that shit, and I'd love it.
When was that meant to happen?
I can't remember I can't remember who it. Yeah, it wasn't so much meant. It was talked about. I think people had reached out to like Geechee and shit, and Shocks was down. It was never something concrete, but I think it was either us or Code Red or someone at the time wanted it to happen. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, that would have been crazy. That would have been crazy.
Oh my God, yeah.
I don't think it could have ever happened. I think it's one of them. Same with like Big K and shit, like and Shock. Like I don't think it could ever happen. But they're two battles I like. But yeah, Geechee and Shocks I'll put B Magic and O Red in their prime. I always wanted to see that battle. It was always one that when they was talking about doing Checkpoint International versus International like they do with Arsenal and DNA and stuff, I always liked the idea of O Red and B Magic, like super prime them. I think they did end up rapping against each other. I'm not sure, but I don't know if it ever. I think it was like if they did do it, it was on some random. It was nothing battle. I think if that had like when they were both popping in like 2014, 2015 times, I'd have loved that. Shit, I want to see. Fuck, see, this is weird because all the people I want to see battle, they ain't battling no more because I'm a fucking kid and I want to see all the people that I haven't seen battle yet. Like I want to see like Psychosis, Holocaust battle someone. Maybe someone mad like Moneybags or something.
Okay.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I think I remember him or one of them saying that would have been sick back in the day. Probably Psychosis, but I'd love to see something random like that. Just because I never got to see Psychosis Holocaust battle and I was big fan. We got Shuffler Marlowe against Ilmac and Saurus. Gotta happen. Gotta put that on. Shit. Who else have we got? Let me see something super off key where I can use two people that are never gonna battle again in the same battle. Let me see a real free written round battle from Homie Hom and Possessed.
Okay,
nice.
nice.
How about that mad fucking battle? Who else we got? Soul and yeah, gotta put Soul on, innit? Shit. Soul and Lux. Why not? Fuck it. Crazy. Yeah, Soul and Lux. Just because I'm a big kid.
Crazy.
Yeah, we get Pat Stay against Kruger.
Yeah, I like that.
And
I like that a lot.
what's that now? Like 4? Let me get one more. See if I can think of one more. Who stands out that I haven't said? Oh yeah, let me get Big K against someone. Big K against, I don't know, let's go with Shotty. Something wild like that. That'd be fun. I think that'd be good.
Love it. Yeah, that's amazing, man. And the only one that's come up before, I think, is Shufflo, Saurus, and Ilmac, which obviously comes up a lot
Yeah, I
because
think most people
everyone
talk
wants it.
about that. Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, that's a good list, man. You came up with that pretty quickly as well, to be fair. But apart from that, like I've been ending the show with like 3 music questions and then 3 very random questions to finish up on. But
Nice, go for it. What have you got?
off the top of your head, what are your top 3 favourite albums?
Thankfully, just because of fucking Twitter recently, people have been asking like random stuff like that. So I've got a couple in mind. I don't know if they are my top 3, but they're 3 I love and I always will. I got one on my arm, which is Capital Punishment, Big Pun. So I
Nice.
love Big Pun. They're my favorite rapper of all time growing up. And I love Rumors by Fleetwood Mac. I think it's a great album.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah,
I
agreed.
love Fleetwood Mac. And shit, let me get one more. The first album I ever bought was Grand Champion by DMX. Like I bought it with my own money on CD, and I'll put that in just because it's quite cool that I have that. There's other albums, there's better albums, but just because I did that, I think that's cool. If I really wanted to do something now, I'd probably say like, I don't know, like Michael Jackson album, or whatever. But I'll just go with them 3 for now because yeah,
Yeah,
that'll be it. Yeah.
good shout, man. And like, who would you say is the best live act that you've ever seen in terms of like gigs or shows that you've been to?
Well, in fairness, Joe, I've not been to a lot of shows in my life. That I've been to a handful. I went to see Heavy Metal Kings. I went to see Jedi Mind Tricks, and I went to see a fucking cover band, a Fleetwood Mac thing one time. I've seen a few like random things, but I've not been to a lot of shows. I've never really been that person. I'd love to go to them. Like now I'm older, I kind of wish I did all that, but I didn't really do any of that. So I've only really got a couple to choose from. I see cool things like I see like people at Battle Show. I remember like Soul Khan was at a show back in the day and he was rapping. That was pretty cool. Things that I don't think I'd ever thought I would have seen, like because of a battle event. Like people like anyone from Ian Daniels and shit. Like when like Tony D and Desire and all them man rapping live. That was all cool. But as a whole, I don't have any proper shows, so I feel like I'm kind of voided on that one, mate.
Fair enough, man. And is there any like lesser known musicians that you're a big fan of at the moment that like myself or the listeners might not be aware of?
Well, funnily enough, I've been doing a madness recently, and I've been listening to like an album every day that I've never heard before, and I am literally sat in front of my Spotify. So I'll tell you, someone I heard for the first time the other day is a guy called Rob Gates, yeah. And if you like people like Uncle Murder or anything like that, he's got an album called Rob Like Get Robbed, which is one of the hardest titles for an album I've ever heard in my life. And yeah, he's pretty sick. He's very fucking grimy, and it's all gully rap shit. And he's got a guy on one of the songs called Illinois, but like spelt like Illa and Noise, but all one word. And he's very good. He kind of reminds me of like Griselda type guys, like he's got a bit of a Conway type of sound or Benny, something like that.
Does he battle?
Illinois, no, I think there's someone with a similar name, but
Right.
it's this guy. This guy, I'd never heard of this guy. He came out of the woodwork and he's fucking dope. Who else have I been listening to? I listen to all of Ghost stuff. I don't know if you've heard of Ghost, but they're like I guess metal band. They're crazy good. I'd never heard of them properly before. I think they're really good. But yeah, if you just want me to do rap stuff, like shit, let me have a fucking look. I got a couple here that I love people like Ransom. Ransom's one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's got a really good new tape out called what's that exact title? I don't want to get it wrong. What's it? Ransom. There he is. What's that? see if I click on that. His new tape is called Director's Cut Scene 2.
Okay.
A very, very cool little tape. It's like two-part. There's scene one's just called Director's Cut. They're all both from 2020. They kind of like blend into one. The newer one, like from the other week, I prefer that. But as a whole, because I think he's making 3 parts, and then the whole 3 becomes the album as a whole. If that makes sense. Ransom's a great rapper, one of my favorites of all time. He's someone everyone should check out. I think that's a couple things I've been listening to that's new. I like the 1975. I like the Tallest Man on Earth. I've been listening to a lot of mad random shit, not a lot of rap stuff recently.
No, I'm the same, man. I probably listen to like rap and hip hop more than anything else, but I listen to a bit of everything. And the Tallest Man on Earth's great, man. I'm a big fan of them. So.
Same, yeah, for real. There's a lot of cool shit. I've been trying to do something different every day. So I've just been listening to a lot of stuff. Like there's so many cool things out there. Like I love people like Freddie McGregor, who's like a reggae artist from back in the day. Like people should go check out Freddie McGregor and stuff. Like there's loads of cool music up. But just from what I can see in front of me right now, there's just a few things I could say off the top, like, that I've been listening to kind of recently.
Nice.
Overall,
nice,
from growing up, like everyone needs to check out people like Pun. If you've never heard of Big Pun, go listen to Big Pun. That's about it.
100%.
And obviously, go listen to Flight Distance. Go listen to Bender and Patience.
Yeah, agreed, definitely. And one album for your list, then, as you've been listening to an album a day that you've not heard before, check out. It's an album called Marlowe. And it says on Spotify that the artist is Marlowe as well, but it's actually a rapper called Rakeem Brigham.
Okay.
And the producer
That's a link me that one as well.
Yeah, I'll send it over, man. But that's an amazing album that came out like last year, I think.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, it doesn't have to be brand new, but like if it is new, that's cool too, because I don't mind if it's brand new, but as long as I've never heard it as a whole, I'm down.
Yeah, I'll send it over, man. It's really good, in my opinion. But in terms of the 3 random questions, I think I know the answer to the first one. So, have you got a favourite sports team?
Oh yeah, I'm a QPR fan, mate.
Yeah, I thought so. They're what's happening with the championship season then?
I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of completely been off everything since everything kind of stopped. I've been off it. I think at the moment they're just waiting for the decision from the higher ups. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Do you go and watch them much then?
Yeah, I went to QPR for about, I don't know, I had about 10 plus years worth of season tickets over the years as a kid growing up. Like it was one of the only things I ever really was invested in. And then I stopped going a few years back. I haven't really been for a couple of years now, mainly through just my life and that. Like it just never happened. But if I had the chance to keep going, I'd go every weekend just because. But as a whole, I definitely tapped out a little bit. Just like I still paid attention as much as I could, but I did tap out a little bit.
Fair one, man. No, that's cool. But if you could pick anywhere in the world for your next holiday or like trip abroad, where would be top of your list of where you want to
go? There's a reason behind this, but it's kind of long. But I need to go to America for a specific reason. But if I could just choose a holiday that would be fun, I don't know, I'd do something crazy like go to Hawaii or something.
Nice. Yeah, man. That sounds good. But the final one has it's brought up a mixture of answers, to be fair, but you can pick one sweet and one savoury, but what is the go-to munches in your opinion?
Oh, Kit Kat peanut butter is the first thing that came to my head. Kind of like them.
Nice.
They're kind of banging. I'll go with that. That is a sweet thing. And as a savoury thing, I don't know, any kind of like mad hot crisps, like I don't know, like flaming Doritos or something like that. They're always good. They're always good gear.
Good show.
Oh no, actually, no. There's newer ones now. Actually, they're like these weird. They're like They say they go good with a beer. I forget the name of it. I think it's through Walker's Beer. It might not be, but they've got ones that are called like they're like they're mad hot. I forget the name of them now. But there's this newer range of hot crisps. Shit like that's kind of fire.
Nice.
But I'm not really big on either. To be honest, I can't lie. I don't eat a lot of them now. But not out of some health thing. I don't naturally pick them up like I would when I was a bit younger. Even a couple of years ago, I picked them up a lot more, but I don't really go and buy them for myself these days.
That's fair enough, man. No, they're good answers though. I've had some stinkers for answers so far, so they're decent. But no, apart from that, man, that's pretty much everything to go through. But have you got anything that you wanted to plug or anything that you want in like the description of the video once it's up?
I mean, not so much that I'm invested in people checking it because it's quite old. But like, you can put I got like a band camp. I got like the group I was in's band camp from a few years back. You can put those up. That'd be quite cool. But as a whole, just moving forward, like if I've got any music, I'm probably just gonna put it on my SoundCloud. I guess people could check that too. But I'm looking to properly release stuff when I can get to the studio again. I'm looking to actually be on Spotify and be a real name on there and not just have the odd spattering of things here and there. So as a rapper, yeah, I don't really have much else to do plug wise. No.
Sick, man. But my main aim for the show, to be fair, is once I've
tell a lie. One more thing I've got to plug. Go to shufflet.com and buy the Advanced Rhyming Dictionary for rappers and poets. Please do that. Go and buy it.
Definitely. Yeah, my girlfriend got it me for Christmas, and I've been obsessed with it for ages. So I definitely agree with that. And yeah, man.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite people in the world, and I do everything I can to make sure that he gets success from all that because he's the best. Trust me.
Agreed. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like my main aim for the show really is once I've built the subscribers up a bit, I want to do like a weekly show where we're like I kind of promote battlers' music a bit more because I think it's just so heavily overlooked and there's so many battlers that make great music at the moment. So
yeah, that's dope, man.
Any projects that you ever got or anything like that, send them over, man, and I'll make sure I put them on.
Thank you. Yeah.
No worries, mate. But apart from that, mate, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on. It's been really fun chopping it up with you. But
yeah, man, I've enjoyed this. It's a bit of a memory lane thing. Like a lot of stuff I don't really not think about because I don't really get the chance to talk about it. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things I was able to remember that I didn't know I remembered. So that's dope. Thank you. I don't really understand whether I've done good or bad or anything, but I hope I answer your questions the way I should have, and the way that people can understand them. I didn't go off on too many tangents.
No, definitely not, man. It's been really fun. I appreciate it, and yeah, I mean, with the current situation, it just seemed like the perfect time to get something like this going, really. But
yeah, man, you've been smashing it. A lot of names I've seen pop up. I tried to stick the Pigsty one on today, man. So I'm interested in what he has to say. I heard the beginning of it, and he was talking about setting up his own battles. That was crazy. So yeah, you're doing well, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. And yeah, I really appreciate your time, mate. Thank you for coming on. And I hope you stay safe over there anyway, man.
Yeah, you too, bro. You too. Thanks a lot, man.
Take care, mate. Speak to you soon.
You too.